Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Shoe Snob blog unboxing video series, One Take Wonders. Here we are back again after quite a while with something new. Something that I have not shown on the channel before and something that maybe many of you are very curious about. So let's jump right in. Here we have Mario Bemer USA version. That was brother of Stefano Bemer, where I trained, and Mario, who started his own brand shortly after Stefano's passing, has a newer offshoot in the US here and has a small, nice little production. So let's take a look. Boxes, very interesting actually. Looks like it could be two lids, but obviously the one with the brand is the lid. Very sturdy, strong. I'm assuming Mario's colors are burgundy and blue. So here we are, the nice little pamphlet. Mario Bemer, scented as well. Master Florentine shoemaker. I created handcraft MTO and bespoke shoes following the centuries-old tradition of Florentine shoemaking. As an artisan, I conceive, design, cut, and follow the entire process myself, guaranteeing my clients the true excellence of made in Italy. My shoes combine comfort while maintaining a timeless sense of Italian aesthetics. Mario Bemer USA. MTO. So most of what Mario does is made to order. There's no ready-to-wear production. Driving loafers, you know, smaller things that are, you know, just standardized. But his welted shoes, hand welted shoes, are pretty much either made to order or bespoke. So he says here, MTO, I work with my client to create a customized shoe that showcases his personality. I offer a selection of the best Tuscan leathers, along with the possibility of choosing details and colors. I created this collection, which is made in Florence, Italy, exclusively for my clients in the USA. Now, Tuscan leathers, I think there's some non-Tuscan leathers as well, but Italian leathers for sure. Nice little, what looks like some Italian Florentine artistic, I forget the name of this. Anyway, tissue paper, but with the Italian, sometimes I feel like I forget English. As I get older, I forget my own language. But, you know, beautiful stuff. Nice lining, not just plain, it's nice. Here's the lovely scent. Firenze Profumo, Officina Profumo Firenze Farmaceutica. That's a nice touch, I like that. All right, take a look. Very nicely packaged, nice presentation. Here we go, let's pull out the shoes. A+ on all of that. All right, nice felt, soft felt bags. Mario Bemer. Now the bags are not the same colors as the box, so harder to tell what is the actual color, but nonetheless, let's continue to take a look. All right, so now I've known Mario since 2008. That means in October of 2000. Sorry, my timelines are terrible. My life is a blur. I think the first time I met Mario was March of 2008. And then I moved to Italy October of 2008. So I actually spent my first 2 weeks of my bespoke shoemaking apprenticeship with Mario in not the bespoke atelier, but more the kind of ready-to-wear atelier / office of Stefano. It was a larger shop where I think they would see clients who maybe were coming in for a ready-to-wear or just more personalized fitting. The bespoke, sorry, my neck is bothering me. The bespoke section was very small. It was very tiny. If any of you have been there, you'll know. So The other atelier was much larger, had more space, more comfortable for a client to go. So that's where Mario really was. And that's where I met him, and Mario taught me a lot of things about presentation, packaging, the way you put the shoes in the bags with the heel first and the toe at this end. Because if you stick the toe in the bottom, it's gonna get all messed up here with the enclosed, you know, there's a seam there, right there. And those little things, those little details is what I love about the Italians. They think about these things. You stick the beautifully shined toe first, and you can mess up the shine in the toe with that seam inside the bag. Go figure. So Mario taught me how to shoe shine, taught me about presentation, taught me how to bar lace, taught me how to do many things that were having to deal with presentation of ready-to-wear footwear. And we remained friends. Mario's a great guy, always very kind. That's what I loved about him. Always happy, always smiling, always very talkative, and you know, overall great guy. So it's my pleasure to support him, especially now that he's doing his own thing and making some cool stuff. So being that he is the brother of Stefano, of course he has his own ideas, but he grew up in the world of Stefano Bemer shoemaking, and I know that means something because so did I. You know, my 1 year there highly affected, or should I say highly influenced, my eye for design and the way I see things. Stefano had a great eye, really ahead of his time in my opinion, and it rubs off on you when you're around it daily. You start to see things differently, you start to see lines move differently, and you can tell that this also happened to Mario, as you will see an Adelaide here unlike any other. So obviously, you know, I always do the kind of up close detail video. I'll try to show you the very interesting angular line Mario did here on his Adelaide. First you have this round kind of hump that I've never seen, but then you have these more angular lines that create the kind of overall Adelaide, and that wraps all the way around the Adelaide piece, should I say. So it's more like a extended Adelaide, as I like to call them, but very beautiful. I think it's creative. I love that it's different, gives you a different look from the bottom. When you're looking at your shoes, this line is very different to what you would normally see. It's normally the other way. So this is what I love about Mario, and the fact that he absorbed some of that creative genius. And of course, Mario's his own person, so he always had his own creative genius, but it ran in the family. And so yeah, so Mario sent me these shoes. Well, I actually went to go pick them up at his atelier here in New York City, in Bayside, Queens. So, you know, we say New York City and people think Manhattan, but it's a little bit of a hike from Manhattan. But beautiful showroom, kind of like a office inside the house, but lovely house. Nice, beautiful showroom. If you're ever around and you want to check Mario out, definitely reach out and go see it. It's a nice time. You feel at home because you are at home, but you also feel at home because the Italians have a good way about making you feel like that with coffee or tea or something, aperitivo, whatever. Nice place. So I went to pick these up just recently, and yeah, beautiful stuff, beautiful shoes. Now, when I did a little asterisk of Tuscan leather, so we have Museum Calf by Icea, but Icea is based out of Torino. But there kind of is the argument because they also own a tannery in Tuscany. But I've been to the Icea factory that makes the Museum Calf, and it was in Torino, unless they have, and it very well could be that they've moved locations, because I went about 10 years ago or something like that. So, and I have heard that I think there was some moving of the location, so maybe I'm wrong, but I do know Icea originally is from Torino, which is in the north near Milan. What I want to talk about before we get into quality is sizing, because Mario Bemer shoes are tricky with sizing. So I told Mario I'm 40 and a half. I usually wear UK 6.5, US 7.5, And Mario actually started by making me a 39, which in my mind is a US 6. Oddly enough, when I tried it, I could stick my foot into it. Granted, there wasn't one molecule of space inside, but I could tell that it was a half size off. So Mario made me a new pair in a 39.5, and it fits perfectly. So 39.5 is one full size down than my typical size, and it fits perfectly. Now granted, I like a snug fit. For those of you who don't, you may wish to take a half size down, but I think a snug fit is the way a shoe should fit. So a full size down to my typical size, 39.5 fits flawlessly, fits very comfortably. So that is sizing. Now let's take a look. I want to see something. One thing that many of you might not be used to when wearing hand welted shoes of this caliber is the extended arch support that comes up to here. Now this is something you noticeably feel in the shoe, and at first it might be felt as uncomfortable because it's this stiff piece of leather basically supporting your pronation. Most of us pronate, we don't supinate. Few of us supinate, and I'll get into that later. But this stiff leather is what's gonna make those shoes feel amazing once that leather breaks in, because you're actually being supported. When you don't have the leather here and you just have the upper and the lining, you're really not being, you know, super supported, and that's where you start to overpronate. But this stops you from overpronating. It catches you because it's a stiff piece of leather. So if you're not used to that, beware of that. But trust me, it gets softer. It feels amazing once it's broken in. I remember when I got my very first pair of Mario Bemer Chukka boots, they destroyed my feet. But after I broke them in, I wore them all over the streets of Florence. If you've been to Florence, you know the cobblestones. I walked every day, 40 minutes to work and 40 minutes back in cobblestone. So, and I wore those boots all the time. So trust me when I say, if you're not used to a hand welted shoe of this kind of stiffness and caliber, it gets better after a few wears. Now, here's another video I gotta make about break-in times, because I keep getting asked how long the shoes take to break in, and there's no answer to that. But I promise you, once it does break in, it'll feel like your most comfortable sneaker. Anyway, all right, let's get on to the quality here. So Mario Bemer shoes are hand welted, flawless in make, as one would expect. You have all the details here. You have beveled waist on the side here. No fiddleback or hump, very flat sole waist here. Very clean sole. You have a nice leather stacked heel. It's pretty straight, not really a pitch. You got the little detail around the heel, which is very common in a shoe that's hand done. Very solid, beautiful fudging. The fudging is immaculate. Jeez, if only my factory could fudge like this, I would be a happy camper. So immaculate fudging. It looks, to be honest, it looks hand fudged on the welt, because I've never seen machine fudging that clean. Super tight stitches to the inch, which is very nice, very pretty. Yeah, the finishing is one would expect. The beauty of the Italian makers is they have amazing finishing. They really do a good job at that. The stitches to the inch is flawless. It's perfectly straight, coupled with very deep, elegant fudging. It's just a nice, pretty shoe. You got the little metal tips on the laces. I won't say that that's my personal favorite thing, but you know, it's nice. Trying to think of what else. Very nice lining. Got Mario Bemer. Very simple, well-made shoe, but simple in the sense that you don't have a lot of flash details in terms of finishing. You don't have pitched heels or beveled or, you know, fiddlebacks or any of those types of things. There's no decoration, so to speak, but you just have a beautiful solid shoe. Perfect leather, no visible flaws, no visible anything but perfection. Nice shine, and yeah. So Mario Bemer USA. I do invite you to check him out. Now, he's not always based in New York. He splits his time between Tuscany and New York, so make sure to reach out. But he comes here. He usually announces he comes a week, 2 weeks at a time. He's often traveling back and forth to control production. So I definitely, if you've been interested, definitely check him out. Again, Mario's one of my favorite people in the industry. Just a nice guy. Him and his wife Sandra helps him out. Lovely people, the type of people you want to support. And that's, you know, that's what I love doing. What I do is I get to help, you know, hopefully inspire all of you to support great people, because I think that matters. And yeah, great shoes. I won't lie, I know many of you are going to think they're expensive. So the reality is, a pair like this, I believe a pair like this, I don't pay for the shoes I review. You should know that by now. I've disclaimed that. The hand welted made to order start at $1,900. Now, personally, I think good shoes are worth their price. I think this race to the bottom of trying to get the cheapest price is silly, and it's kind of created this idea where people might scoff at a $2,000 shoe, which I think is ridiculous, because, you know, people pay $30 for toilet paper, or $10,000 custom suits, or they'll go to the designer store and buy a $4,000 bomber jacket, whatever. I mean, this is real quality. You know, you're not paying for Mario's name because he's not Gucci. You're paying for the craftsmanship, the attention to detail, and yeah, overall, that's a solid shoe that might last you 20, 30, 40 years if you take care of it right. So 1900 starting, hand welted, made to order. And if you wanted fully handmade, i.e. sole stitch handmade, and I don't know if there's any other details that come along with that, because this looks pretty much, outside of stitching the sole by hand, handmade as you're gonna get. That's $2,300. I don't know the prices for bespoke because I didn't ask that, but I do invite you to check him out. If you don't mind paying for quality, that's definitely a quality shoe that is going to last you a lifetime. And, you know, assuming the last fits you well, it's going to feel good. So definitely check Mario Bemer USA out. Just to clarify, the website is Mario Bemer USA. I will leave that down below. And thanks for tuning in. As always, do stay tuned for more, as I've been way behind and have a ton coming. So I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.